All right, Shalom. I'm coming back with another one. But before we get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Heavenly Father and His Son by their true names. Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the Akim of Great Millstone that's pushing this truth throughout the four winds. Shalom. And this, some good news. It says the EU on the verge of collapse and implosion like the ex-Soviet Union. All right, and we don't really have to watch the whole video. We're gonna read some of this at the bottom. It says the European Union is more divided than ever. The big divide this time is how far financial solidarity can go in fighting COVID-19 and its economic impact. Germany and the Netherlands are vehemently opposed to the idea of the so-called corona bonds. This idea of joint borrowing of debt on the international markets to allow member states to finance their efforts of combating the virus, but with the full weight of the whole of Europe behind that debt, so the cost would be lower for more fragile states such as Italy. Germany and the Netherlands are particularly opposed to this, while non-European countries, among them are Italy, France, Spain, are demanding common debt euro bonds, also called the Corona bonds. But Germany and Austria and other wealthy North European countries are saying we cannot afford these euro bonds because we do not know how we will come out of this unprecedented crisis. Italy is asking quite bluntly what the EU is for. All right, because in this crisis they not dealing with this coronavirus and things like that. They not banding together. You know, if they cannot help us now when we need help, Germany, the most robust economy in the EU, does not want to guarantee those loans. All right, which is beautiful. And all this at the end of the day, is prophecy. And we're gonna get it. Uh, Bear with me 1 minute, Alkin. All right. I think this is it right here. uh, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potters, clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest uh, the the iron mixed with mirrored clay. All right, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. All right, talking about the EU, the European Union, the Edomite Union. All right, uh, and that's what you see today. Let me see. And that's what you see today. They're you know, partly strong and partly broken. All right, because you got the just like the the 10 horns and the ten toes. Are one and the same. You know, and the 10 horns. Just are strong Edomite nations, and the clay are the extra Edomite nations. That's why you got like 20, 28, 29. You know, nations, EU nations, NATO and EU nations now. All right, and that iron represents the superpower, nations. All right, and the clay is like the weak, the small nations, the other nations. That's all a part of the NATO and the EU. We're gonna go to 7. Mm, well, we're not gonna get that one. So like, yeah. Uh, All right, here you go. Salakia. All right, we're gonna read 20. Yo, we just gonna read 20. Just mainly focusing on the NATO and the EU, mostly the EU, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom three fell. Are those 10 horns? Like I said, the 10 horns and the 10 toes. It's still talking about the EU, the European Union, and of the other which came up, and before whom three fell. All right, which that three fell was the British, the French, and the Spanish. All right, which you can read up on those wars. Uh, Even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. All right, talking about America. And all right, all right, we're gonna read this. Read from 25. I'm skipping around and things like that. You know, got a short time. You know, this Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. All right, and that's clearly talking about Esau. So-called white man. To this day, he's wearing out the saints of the Most High. You know, his men of the Lord, the prophets. You know, that's a part of that hopeful elect, and Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. All right. And Esau think he to change times and laws. He created. All his laws. Are completely opposite of the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shema Shah. All right. And it says, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of time. All right, which we towards the end, of Esau rulership. So, you know, and we can't wait, man. So continuing, it says, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it until the end, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. All right, the elect, all right, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. All right, like we say over and over again. All right, the hopeful elect, are going to inherit that kingdom. All right, and 2/3, of the nation of Israel going to be born through our loins. All right, in the kingdom. And we're gonna go to Obadiah. Well, first Revelation, Salaki. All right, Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads, NATO, and 10 horns, European Union. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right, and guys, 2/3 of these heathens, they can't, understand the prophecies or nothing like that. They can't see that all these, you know, so like all these, you know, scriptures, that's being brought out, it's clearly talking about, you know, America and this, in the NATO and the EU. Which this great whore America, which is spiritual called Babylon the Great, sits upon that beast. We're gonna go down some. Yeah. Here you go. Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Alright? Because it's almost on the verge of World War III. That's escalating. And you got martial law around the corner. Jacob's trouble basically started. And another major prophecy. Which is about to come to pass is that RFID chip, that mark of the beast, being fully implemented. It's already on the earth and things like that. You already got people that have it, but real soon Esau is about to make it mandatory. And start putting people in concentration camps, and people are about to start getting killed that don't take the mark of the beast. All right. All right. It's Revelation 17. We're gonna read those two and jump down to all right. Hold on. Bear with me, Akim. I'm trying to find the precept. Here you go. It's 16. Slovakia. Well, I'll just read 16. I'll just read 16 and elaborate. God. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. And these the times we enter into. Alright? And you about to see this happen before your very eyes, Though it tarry, just wait. Alright? Which, we've been, Great Mills, beginning with the elder apostles, been telling you people about World War III and those ICBM missiles, destroying America and things like that. The EU, the European Union, turning on America and things like that. All right. And this whole beast system is about to crumble. The NATO and the EU is about to crumble. All right, and just when Esau belly is about to be full, that's when the Most High is going to upset that, Esau kingdom is not about to be crowned with success. All right. That's pretty much it. You can watch the video for yourself. This is the title right here. All right. But I pretty much just read the bottom part. All right. And oh, I ain't see this. It says the death of money, the coming collapse of the international monetary system. All right. So the EU, the NATO and the EU, are going to soon be, done away with. All right. You know, soon they're gonna be letting them, these European, these EU nations gonna be letting the missiles, take flight. All right. And ultimately, Esau about to make it a cashless society, and things as you know it. The new normal is going to be that RFID chip, the mark of the beast, you know, and those of you that take it are going to be destroyed. Point blank, period. All right, and Lord willing, that was edifying. Before closing, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Heavenly Father and the Son by their true names, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Harakak. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the Akim of Great Millstone. And Shalom until next time. Kwam Yasha Allah and Babal Babal.